In this video, I'm going to explain the basics of what to do when you're in a 1-2-3, a 1-2-4, a 1-2-5, or a 1-2-6 combination. If you don't know what a combination is, or you don't know what those words mean, go back and check out my last video, and that will explain that for you. In this video, we're going to dive deeper into the first of our combinations in this series, and we're going to look at what to do in that strong winning combination. Now, a 1-2-3 or a 1-2 anything is a very stable winning combination. It's probably the best winning combination in 3-boat team racing, and it happens quite regularly. And it's going to look something like this when you're in your 1-2-3, and around the course, the philosophy for dealing with a 1-2-3 is you want to be thinking about how you can keep your 1-2, because that's really the important part of this. Even if this third boat goes all the way to 6th, you're still going to be winning. So we need to think about how we can keep this 1-2. And that means that we have two slightly conflicting philosophies, and we've got to work out how we balance them. The first of all is that if you're in a 1-2-3, some people will just say that boats 1 and boats 2 sail as fast as they can, and boat 3 puts in what's known as a gap. So boat 3 will do some small manoeuvres wherever possible to slow down the boats behind and create a gap in this part of the race. So these two can sail on unhindered, and this boat's behind. Now, the problem with this comes is that very often when boat 3 tries to gap, it's then a 1-on-3 boat situation, and they can often get overtaken by 1, 2, or even all 3 boats on the enemy team, leaving you in a 1-2-6. Now, in certain formats, that's not ideal. So for instance, if you're in a format for team racing, if you're in a competition where the points might matter for your position, then you should try and avoid that where possible. There's no need to unnecessarily lose positions. And furthermore, once that boat's been overtaken, depending on how much of the race is left, that leaves your boat at the front vulnerable to further attack. So for instance, if this boat loses their position at Mark 3, then by the time you get to Mark 4, as you go onto the final beat, you might have 2 enemy boats attacking forwards, and if it's a shifty course, if you're on a light wind day, they might be able to break down that 1-2 at the front of the race. So when we're putting a gap in, we need to balance what we're doing with the context, the nuance of the race. For instance, if you're in a finals situation where the points don't matter, then you can be much more harsh with your gapping, because it doesn't matter what points you get, it just matters whether you win or lose. And depending on other formats like Swiss League, that might also be true for that. You can also, depending on how spread out the boats are behind you, maybe their boats in 5 and 6 are a really long way behind, and this is the only boat that's a threat. Then you might want to put in a bit of gap. But you need to look at the context of the race. So the other school of thought is obviously then, if you're in the 3, you try and hold on to your position and keep the 3. And to be honest, I like doing this wherever possible. So you might want to put in a small gap, you might want to slow down the boats behind you a little bit, but if you're in the 3, then you're always ready to help out, you're ready to play another side of the beat, you're ready to push forwards and get this race to the finish line as fast as possible, which is what you want to do when you're in a stable winning combination. You don't want to attack other boats, you don't want to risk penalties. If this boat ends up in a 6, then all it might take is the boat in 2 to hit a mark or to get a Rule 42 penalty, and you could lose the race. So having that boat still in 3 or having that boat still in 4 or 5 can make all the difference. So particularly with this, if you're going to do anything, make sure you keep ahead of at least one boat, because then even if something bad happens to boat 2, you can always revert back to playing for a 1-4-5 by keeping this boat right in the back of the race in 6. So that's how you specifically handle a 1-2 anything combination. You're going to look to put in a gap in where it's easy to, but if it's not easy to, you want to otherwise hold on to your position, push forward, get the race to the finish line quickly, and don't make any unnecessary risky plays, because you're already winning and you don't need to overcomplicate it. And treat the race with the nuance it deserves, and make sure that you're spreading your risk wherever you can. There's no need to roll the dice when you're already winning by a lot. Thanks for watching. If you have any specific questions about how to handle a 1-2 anything on a certain part of the course, then please leave it down below. I'm going to later on do a video about what to do if you're in a 4-5-6 or a losing combination where they might have a 1-2, and we'll go into some more specifics on that. But to start with, we're going to look at these winning combinations, and I also promise that I am going to buy a bigger whiteboard at some point so we can fit the combinations on more easily. Thanks for watching, see you next time.